Hello, and welcome to the Santaland podcast. I created it just for you. I'm your host, Tony Felice. In each episode, I'll read to you for 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about what we just heard. Like the cricket in my story, I'll guide you through a grown-up fairy tale, one that explores ideas of existence, identity, and the soul's journey through trauma, and the transformative power of love. By the end, you'll have heard my whole story, a sneak peek into the creative process of bringing a book to life. Maybe we'll read other books together. But for now, follow the wise cricket and discover the Santaland within yourself, a place of hope, connection, and peace that's already inside of you. This podcast is especially made for those like me who feel a little different and maybe talk about math at weddings or philosophy at funerals. And like me, maybe you have a loving husband, or a wife, or somebody else that loves you. If not, we're here to love you, because you're in good company, my dear friends, here in Santaland. Hello, and thank you for returning to the Santaland podcast. I am very excited that you're here. And I'm super excited to introduce Kellie. She is the combination of two people, two of my favorite people in the whole world that I've been friends with forever and ever, amen. Taunya and Kellie. Taunya I met in D.C. We worked together for many years, and Kellie I met in Arizona, and we worked together for many years, and we're all still friends. Kellie and Taunya don't know each other, but I'd love it if they met one day, because this is the amalgamation of both of them. So with love, I bring this character to life and to you. Chapter 39, entitled When Worlds Collide. Look into my portal. Flashback to 1998. It's the 30th floor of the Condé Nast corporate headquarters in Manhattan, and Kellie Walton and Thomas Sanders had just collided in the hallway of a famous magazine. Sorry, Toots, said Kellie. Papers flew from Tom's folder and across the polished floor. Wah! Oh my God, I'm such a ditz, she said. She straddled the papers and gathered them up. I might as well have been a white girl in yoga pants stretching all over the place. Here, let me help you with all this mess. You know, you look like Whitney Houston, he said, matter-of-factly, squatting down and taking the papers that she handed him. She was elegant and simultaneously bohemian. Shut up. I'm more famous. I'm one of the Waltons, she replied. The Waltons? From TV? He asked. Yeah. Sadly, I didn't make the show. And I'm joking. I'm just a regular old girl named Kellie Walton. They stood, and she looked him up and down. What do you do here? Oh, I'm a guest editor, he replied. It's some gimmick that so-and-so thought up. My name's Tom Sanders. The Tom Sanders? She replied. I'm sorry? He stammered, starting to blush as it dawned on him. I read your books, she said, eyeing him closer. Well, you're part of a blistering minority, he joked. Shut up, you're famous, she said. I am not. I'm lucky, he replied. Bah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. After a pause, she tilted her head back and she said, So you're a misfit toy too, huh? What do you mean? He replied. Just, she touched his arm and leaned in close after making sure no one was in earshot. Honey, you and me, we don't belong here. We just passing through. We are? Tom said. Yes. Trust me on this. And I can see through people. That's my thing, she said. Is there a job for that? He replied. Head shrinker. From Howard to Harvard to this silly fashion rag. Lord only knows why I took this job. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. Yes. Am I kidding? Wait, am I? Am I window dressing? She eyed him until his face went from confusion to understanding to smiling. Head shrinker? He asked. Hell yes, in a way, she replied. I'm a clinical psychologist and a research scientist that they got to run this little fashion magazine. I get to tell a lot of white girls how to be fly. You know, the Lord's work. You're hilarious, he replied. So you're the editor of, and he mentioned the famous magazine. Yep, at your service, she said. Well, I can see why they chose you, he said, winking. You cute toots, and you got good taste. I used to think I was window dressing and all, but for the most part they do care, and they let me do my thing. Well, that's a win around here, he replied. For sure. Independence? Oh, I didn't say I was independent, she replied. I just know how to work their system. Something tells me you might be the same way, though. Give me your phone. She took it and entered her number. Let's grab lunch and talk about these people, you know? The Lord's work and all. It was a friendship that would endure through all of it. And among all her gifts, the greatest was her ability to give Tom hope. Chirp. Okay, so that's chapter 39, When Worlds Collide. Worlds. Why do I say when worlds collide? When two people collide, each person is a universe unto themselves. Each story that collides with another one there are two worlds. There are people, there are players, there are stories, there's everything in every person's life. Whoop, there goes my phone. I should have put that on mute. Stand by. It was a super exciting text. It was friends, yay, planning, trips, getting together, and that excitement that comes every year around this time when we all always get together for our family reunion. So that's what that text was about. And that world collided with this world. And I guess that's the point, is that we think of ourselves as our own world, and you could say it's like a ship, right? Ships passing in the night, ships traveling together, ships sharing cargo, ships not being nice to each other, right? Sort of the same thing when worlds collide. And so the question is, what kind of wake are you leaving behind? Is there a lighthouse out there? Do you have life buoys and plenty of lifeboats on board? And I will tell you what, both Taunya and Kellie were the life rafts for me. Yeah. I was very young and did not have family, and I was very much by myself. And my friend Taunya and I worked together and clung to each other at times and got each other through hard times. And we used to think the hard times might go away, but there's always hard times. They come and go. Those times come and go. But you get to decide. You get to decide who you are and what you're made of. I wrote something that I want to share with you. I was thinking about how to describe a piece of music to someone who cannot hear it, and then how to say the words and do them justice when I'm not the other person when they talk later. You'll understand what I'm saying here in a second. So essentially, I wrote a poem with James Baldwin's prose embedded within it, and I hope I do it justice. Imagine a symphony by Max Richter on the nature of daylight. Imagine violins that sound like beautiful wailing, constant, rhythmic, heartbeat like a voice. Like a chorus of angels made sound of their wings and struck feather against string. The feeling is sweeping and majestic, but winsome, wan, remembering, and memorial-like. The notes soar and retract like call and repeat, like heartbeat made in sound, but attached to the wings of doves, signifying everything that light reflected can imagine, rainbowific in white illustrative veins of filament and fluff. Imagine a sweeping vista of California coastline. Next, the silence of the rainforest. A single chimp embraces an orphaned jaguar cub. next a baby's crib, and a baby's hands are grasping for its parents. The light through their fingers cathedral-like. And then we hear her voice. Love has never been a popular movement, and no one's ever really been free. The world is held together, really, it's held together by love and by the passion of very few people. Otherwise, of course, you can despair. You can walk down the street of any city in any afternoon and look around you. What you've got to remember is what you're looking at is also you. Everyone you're looking at is also you. You could be that person. You could be that monster, or you could be that cop, and you have to decide for yourself not to be. James Baldwin. Baldwin's words, their intention. It breaks and renders the fat from our wounds. It finds its hold inside the diaphragm and stretches out its breath to expand into the curvy folds, where suddenly the throat swells and the breath catches from remembering, from being forced to remember, by poetry, by madness, about their desperate cling to their pull-tab prophecies shouted from a dirty wooden box that were found to be lies. We echo Baldwin's plea for humanity, that within the cloak and mantle of history's culminated poor choices, discarded and heaped like carpet upon a pyre, we find our humanity if we can, our circuitry of light if you are a being of light, or the blood within me, holding the truth encoded in each strand of DNA. Love forward, dearly beloveds. Love forward. Thank you for listening to the Santa Land Podcast. I'm Tony Felice. I am so grateful that you're here. Episodes come out weekly, and I look forward to seeing you the next time.